Sumeru preview. Leaked it. Dude. Okay. Dendro Traveler? Elemental skill, put something on the field. Wait, new reg is fine. I like the electro reg is fine. Oh wait.
最后一块拼图，我们打算用一些更成体系的方式去设计它。在 3.0 版本，我们从一开始便邀请了所有的策划、美术和 IP 部门的同学。
It'll be really, you know what? It'll be really interesting to see what they learned from the previous 6 element and see how they balance the game with Dendro. This is gonna be the biggest changes in Genshin Impact in existence.
存在的3个关键词是催化。
What is that? Is this a donut?
这3个概念主要体现在元素反应、
Wait.
关卡设计以及场景机制当中，它们之间也有非常紧密。
Oh, that's the Dendro, like, this is the Dendro puzzles.
原神的元素反应，一方面是不同的元素设计语言之间的组合，那另一方面，它也是基于日常现象的艺术再加工。举例来说，在原神当中，玩家已经见到过的感电现象
electric charge
其实是一个符合玩家认知的日常现象，但同时它也是元素的恢复和雷元素的能量概念结合的产物。那在游戏当中，它也是一个能稳定的散逸能量的现象。基于类似的设计理念，我们在 3.0 版本又推出了2个新的反应
，2 more reaction
和激化。
绽放 and 激化。
现实生活中花朵的绽放现象，那它同时
So this is bloom. This is Hydro plus Dendro. You make a donut.
反应呢，它则是一个完全原创的效果，它来源于雷元素的能量以及草元素的另一个关键词智慧的碰撞。激化反应相关的现象呢，也和须弥当地的历史。
Electro buff is finally here, chat.
3.0 版本，我们在须弥地区也新增了大量有趣的区域玩法，基于燃烧、绽放和激化3种反应特征。
Also, burning is included. Okay.
多态转换的设计理念，一部分具有草元素特征的目标，通过使用水、火、雷，可以让它们在不同的状态之间发生转换。从而产生不同的互动效果。在怪物的生态性上，我们也做了类似的尝试。根据自身所处的环境和受到的元素效果不同，怪物会在不同的状态间。
Oh my god! It's another mushroom. It's a floating mushroom again. It's another floating mushroom.
更多草元素相关的玩法，届时就需要玩家亲自去体验一番了。
Well, more Dendro reaction. We're gonna have the experience in game, guys. Woo, okay, so that was the Dendro trailer. It looked like we're gonna have to wait until 3.0 drop to explore more about Dendro, or we can just go on Twitter. What's up YouTube? Today we're going to be taking a very brief overview of all the Dendro reaction that has been leaked and what is the significance behind it. Now this is not going to be a video that we deep dive into each reaction and do a pre-release analysis, as at the current moment we don't have the most up-to-date latest information about each reaction. Since the 3.0 beta has yet to be published, we're going to have to wait a little bit before we get more accurate information such as the actual scaling on each reaction, or just if they have ICD, or if just what do they actually do. But with that being said, today we're going to be doing a brief overview of each reaction and how it might impact Genshin Impact dramatically. Since we're getting a brand new element with brand new reaction, there will be no doubts that Genshin Impact meta will be heavily shaken up in some way or form, so let's briefly go over those. But with that being said, as always before we start, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to help the algorithm. Something that I was planning on is I might actually start streaming on YouTube for the 3.0 initial patch. The reason is because we will be doing a lot, and I mean a lot, of free crafting on Dendro. And I figure it really helped to stream on YouTube, since not only that's where majority of my audience are, but also so that I can get a vlog, so that for the people who missed the initial testing, they will be able to watch the VOD easily and see what we have been testing and stuff. Since again, this is a brand new element, there will be a lot of things to test. This is probably the most major theory crafting breakthrough we'll ever get. With that being said, let's dive into the first reaction, which is bloom. A bloom is created when you do Dendro plus Hydro together, which then creates a seed that will be dropped onto the ground. You will then have to later apply either a pyro reaction or a electro reaction around that seed, which further contribute to doing another reaction. Either when you contact it with pyro, it will do a AoE explosion damage, or when you contact it with electro, it will do some kind of vine or damage. We're not sure if it will CC at the current moment, but it just kind of do different things. The first thing to notice is that this reaction takes minimally 3 elements. While you can create the bloom just by doing Dendro plus Hydro, to actually utilize the seed, you'll need another element on top, either pyro or electro. So your team minimally needs to contain 3 of these elements, either 1 Hydro plus 1 Dendro plus 1 pyro, and then another flex slot, either a Nemo or a second pyro, or you have to do 1 Dendro plus 1 Hydro plus 1 electro, and then again either a second electro, a Nemo, or other element. Require you to bring 3 different elements in Genshin Impact is going to be very interesting and completely change up the way we do team building. Since for the most part in Genshin Impact, by default we usually like to bring Nemo characters or 2 of the same element characters, since it is just too much utility. A Nemo character being able to bring 3v shred, or 2 of the same element character being able to complement each other, generating energy as well as just being overall really good. However, if we have to bring 3 of the different elements by default, aka Dendro, Hydro, and then again either Electro or Pyro, then it will be completely changing how we see team. We don't know if the last slot should be a Nemo character, should the last slot be a second Dendro character, should this last slot be a second Hydro or a second Electro, or maybe we just run 4 of different kind of element like a brand new soup team or something like that. It'll be very interesting to see how the team building process go for the brand new element team, especially since that when you are running the bloom reaction, not only you can do Dendro plus Hydro by default to create the seed, you can also just do Dendro plus Pyro without the seed to do like burning, or you can just do Dendro plus Electro for the brand new catalyze reaction without caring about the seed. So by default, this team right here will include a lot of unique character and unique reaction in it, and it'll be really interesting to see how the team building process go. But of course, more to explore in the 3.0 patch. With that being said, there was a second reaction that was teased in the earlier teasers, which is the catalyze reaction. By doing Dendro plus Electro, you're able to do the catalyze reaction, which then further buff your Dendro damage or Electro damage. Kind of like how Superconduct buff physical damage a little bit after you do it. In this case, it does buff your Electro or Dendro damage. Now from previous leak, we know that this scale off Elemental Mastery and is dependent on character ICD and stuff, but does not depend on the aura after you have applied it. And it'll be very interesting to see how this once again interact with all the other reaction or character in the game. For example, one of the things that is currently not so popular or meta is Overload Lisa, where you build full Elemental Mastery on Lisa and attack a Pyro infused enemy, which create a bunch of overload. So in this case, what you could do is first proc catalyze to buff your electro damage, scaling off Elemental Mastery, and then you can proc Pyro on the enemy, either with like a Dendro plus Pyro to do burning, and then you can apply a bunch of Electro on top to not only do a lot of overload damage, but to do a lot of catalyze damage. So there's the potential of this opening up Elemental Mastery Electro playstyle. Again, we don't really know yet. We'll get a lot more information when the 3.0 beta drop and the leakers start giving us more accurate information like ICD, character damage scaling, how much Elemental Mastery it is, and stuff. But that is something to be discussed and could have really big potential as well. Of course, we have one final reaction to discuss, which is the Dendro plus Power reaction, which is, of course, as you might know, is the burning reaction. The burning reaction is actually already currently in Genshin Impact, and you can test this out by going to a Dendro slime who will then apply Dendro application on either himself or you. Hi! Oh! Wake up, you bitch! In fact, the burning reaction is already documented in the Kuchingming free crafting library, and as far as we know, the burning reaction is able to self-sustain power really well as long as you have some kind of Dendro on top, as it will continuously do pyro damage every 0.25 seconds and apply really strong pyro in the AoE area. It will be really interesting to see if they will decide to change this reaction. It was not mentioned in the teaser if they're gonna adjust it on anyway. However, at the current moment, it seems like burning is also gonna be a really strong reaction, while it doesn't really do good damage, it is able to continuously apply pyro in a way we have not really seen before, and could do something like an infinite reverse melt Ganyu, infinite reverse melt team, maybe even with other reaction like an infinite overload team. Really interesting, something that's worth mentioning since we're already talking about Dendro. However, we still have to wait once again in the 3.0 beta drop to see if MiHoYo decide to adjust the way currently burning work. And while unfortunately Dendro doesn't react with Anemo or Crowd directly, because Dendro take another element to do it anyway, like Pyro or Electro, there's still very high chance that Anemo or Crowd can still function some way with Dendro just by interacting with the other element directly and then doing something with Dendro. For example, you can do like a Dendro plus Hydro into a Bloom to drop the seed, and then you will apply Crowd on the enemy, but because Crowd doesn't apply with the seed, it doesn't do anything. And then you use Pyro on top of that enemy to do a melt reaction, but also trigger the seed at the same time, and some kind of interaction like that could be very interesting as well, and likewise for Anemo. Unfortunately for Geo though, there's absolutely nothing, so if you're a Geo main, well, consider not. With that being said, as mentioned, we're gonna have to wait for the actual 3.0 beta test to get further leak information about all the Dendro reaction, and then we'll be able to make video on each reaction of talking about its significance and how it could change the Genshin Impact meta. So stay subscribed for that, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always, you guys know it, and I'll see you all next time.